I have believed in the supernatural since my early teens when I had a personal experience. I'm not sharing that story now because I've shared it before. I just wanted to give you a little backstory. When I was about 19, I lived in a cottage behind my mother's house. It was a nice little place with an open living room and kitchen, small bathroom and 2 bedrooms. Initially, when I first moved in, I lived alone and used the smaller bedroom while the larger room was taken by some of my stepfather's workout equipment. Shortly after moving in, I graduated high school and was given a cat as a gift. Shortly after that, the workout equipment was removed and a friend who needed a place to crash moved in. I let him have the bigger room since I was comfortable where I was. Now, something always seemed a bit off about this cottage. Years ago, when my mom first bought the property, we lived there for a while a family lived in the main house. I was always a bit uncomfortable there. Always felt like I was being watched. Always had the urge to look over my shoulder. Always expecting someone to be there. This feeling never went away. I would never have agreed to move in there if it wasn't for the fact that I was 18 and I wanted out of my mom's house. But not enough to go out on my own completely. Anyways, fast forward a year or so. I'm still living with my buddy and my cat. I was kind of depressed with life, so I never really left my room. Just went to work and came home and back to my room. My cat was always with me. I found it strange that he never left my side. I never thought anything of it until I started to notice him sitting in the doorway of my room, only a foot or so away from me, staring out the door into the dark kitchen, growling. When I called his name, he meowed and looked at me. He seemed pretty upset. I would catch him doing this often. Many nights I would be in my room and the cat would be meowing and trying to get my attention, and when I got up he would lead me out to the kitchen where I would turn on the light. He would then either go to eat his food, drink his water, or use his litter box. One night I turned the light off and went back to my room while he was in his box, and he immediately jumped out and went after me. He slept beside me. He followed me every day from the moment I got home from work until I left again. If it wasn't for the creepy staring and growling outside my room, I would have just assumed he was clingy. The thing was, he only did this for me. When I left, he did his own thing. Lounged around the house like a normal cat. My roommate said he would occasionally stare off into space when I wasn't around, but he didn't seem to care much about whatever he saw. My roommate often mentioned that he also felt the feeling of being watched. When I finally moved out of the cottage and got my own apartment, it stopped. No more being watched. No more cat growling at the door. No more clingy cat. Looking back at it now, I believe there was something in that house, and I personally believe that my cat took it upon himself to try and protect me the best he could. The house is empty now, but even when I go in there I still feel like there's something there. Something watching. It's been 10 years since I realized I had a guard cat looking out for me. I still have him, but he's retired, since there's nothing here to protect me from. This content was provided by angelotricarico.com.